Hey guys, Mike here, head trader at True Trading Group. Friday, March 29th. A pretty inactive day for me. Red on some intraday trades, but green on a swing trade. So really this video is a swing trade update. I'll go over the day trades with you as well. A little bit of profit on one swing trade, and then I took a tier 1 loss on my first day trade of the day, and then I just kind of shut down, had some other things to do. We're getting new highs here on the SPY, literally as I'm making this video at about 2:55, 2:54 p.m. You're getting new highs in the SPY. So let's just kind of get to my swing trade update, because that's really what I want to focus this video on. Last week, guys, I entered a swing trade short SMAR. Okay, so if you go back a couple videos ago, you'll see the video that I put out when I initiated the swing trade right here. Okay, was when we initiated that swing trade at 43.94 to the short side on SMAR, and it was after identifying what is called an exhaustion gap. Okay, if you did not see that video, please make sure you go back, watch that video. There's two consecutive videos. One is about shorting an exhaustion gap up, because I shorted SMAR for a day trade in here. Okay, made a nice little gain on it for a day trade. And then 2 days later, we had this gap down. Okay, and this is the day that I went ahead and I got short for the swing trade. Okay, so just go back on the channel just a couple of videos ago. You'll see both of them. One, the exhaustion gap up, and the other, the reason for the entry there on the swing trade to the short side. And I just took the bulk of my position off the table today, right here. I covered the bulk of my position. I'll take you guys to my trade announcements. Okay, here you can see at 9:45, took more profit because I covered a piece of the position. So I'm short at 43.94. If you go back, watch the video, I covered some at 43.01. I still had 80% of the position. I just dropped more than half of that position today. Okay, but I took more profit, covered swing trade short SMAR 39.35 from the March 22nd entry, and I'm still short some from that 43.94, but I covered the bulk of it right there at 39.35, right when we cracked yesterday's lows. Okay, so if I go back to the daily chart, I'll just walk you guys through real quickly why I entered this trade for a swing trade short, and I wanted to give you the update on the trade for any of those that are following this trade. And it's the exhaustion gap up. Okay, and then as I show you guys the MACD indicator here, you can see we had some bearish divergence on the MACD indicator because you have the share price continuing to surge higher. Well, the MACD kind of double topped up here, and then we ended up rolling over, and then you got a signal line crossover. Okay, you got a signal line crossover right there. So you had bearish divergence on the MACD, we had an exhaustion gap, and then you had a signal line crossover that ignited, okay, my trade to the downside for a short on SMAR. And then you also can look at on the RSI indicator as well. You can see even more clear, okay, bearish divergence as you have share price increasing on SMAR. Okay, RSI decreasing, and you can see now RSI pulling itself back in while we had this little about week-long decline on SMAR, and it was a nice little swing trade. You know, I never really had any. I was never anxious. The position really never went against me ever since I opened the trade. So it was a pretty nice little swing, and the reason why I covered at 39, okay, was because of this previous structure support that you guys see back here. Well, previous resistance, and now you look for that to become support as we zoom this in, and you can see now 2 consecutive days that this support level has held. Okay, previous resistance now becomes support on the swing, covered the bulk of the position, and now we're getting a little bit of a bounce back on SMAR. Green now on the day as the overall market is starting to push itself higher, and you're getting new highs on SMAR as well. Okay, so if I go out to a 15-minute chart, guys, here is my entry short, okay, on the gap down, and mostly it was because we were gapping down below, okay, this previous support level. We kind of had a double, triple bottom here on the 20th and the 21st. Okay, this is the day that I got short intraday. Okay, this was actually where I got short intraday. It was actually at exactly 47 bucks, so it was right there. Okay, and I caught that move to the downside. Then you see we had the gap down below this level, and that's when I pulled the trigger because of all those signals that I just went over with you on the daily chart. And then this is what I used to kind of execute the actual trade and get my entry on the short. And then I just wrote it down for about a week and a half. All right, it was a nice little trade. I still have a piece of the position. My stop on this piece, guys, is now right around here, around 42.15. And you can see this previous resistance level. I'm going to see if we break back above that, then I will cover the rest of that position. Profitable all the way around. Just covered the bulk of it today, so I wanted to give you guys that update on the swing. Okay. Now let's get to my day trades here today. I'll start off my first trade of the day was APDN for a tier 1 entry, and I took a loss on it. Okay, we had this gap up on APDN. We pulled in and tested the low, and it looked like we were holding there. Okay, it looked like we were going to put in like a double bottom gap up pattern. Okay, we had the 38.2 Fibonacci level that was lining up there as well with that initial morning low when we found that double bottom. Then the trade line was working its way up, and I got long a tier 1 position right here, waiting for a trade line VWAP crossover, okay, where I would have added to this position somewhere up in this region, okay, and then looked for new highs. But we never got the new highs. We never got the trade line VWAP crossover. Okay, we rolled it back down, and when we broke down through the low of the day, I ended up stopping out of that position. I'll take you to my chart announcements here. You guys can see at 957, long tier 1, 83.76, stop loss 73 area on the tier 1 position, and I'm going to add tier 2 through 85, which would have at the time given me that trade line VL crossover, but I never got it. And you can see about 20 minutes later, sold out the tier 1 APDN at 73. So took a sizable loss percentage-wise on that tier 1 position. You know, from 83.7 all the way down to 73, that's a big percentage drop. So even though I was in a tier 1, this one did kind of sting a little bit to start the day. But I was able to take some profits off on that swing trade, so it offsets, you know, any losses from today. And then I had BOXL, small gain on BOXL, nothing really to write home about. And BOXL, guys, is just here you have initial morning highs. Okay, here you have initial morning highs. We broke through those highs with a real nice strong surge in volume. Okay, and then we pulled it back in, and those initial morning highs started to find support with VWAP, and I jumped in this position right here. Okay, I'll take you to my trade announcements. You guys can see long BOXL at 379, stop loss at 365. Okay, so in it here at 379. All right, so in at 379, you see then we get this little surge higher here, and the first thing that I noticed is when we got this bounce back was that the volume was still pretty light. In order for me to have been confident in BOXL that we were going to break through highs and squeeze, I was hoping to see more, you know, 400,000 or 500,000 share volume bars like we saw when we broke through the high of the day to give me the confidence I need to know that we're going to squeeze. Okay, so this is really kind of all about analyzing volume and using volume to be able to tell that a stock is strong or if there's momentum in the stock. And at the time, BOXL wasn't telling me that there was a lot of momentum in this stock. If you go out to a daily chart, this is why this area was so important. The high of the day is right around 410. Okay, 408 was the high. When I take it to a daily chart, I want you guys to notice this double top high up here around 415. Okay, you see that double top high up there around 415. So that I knew it was gonna take a lot of effort to get through that area. Okay, so that's why I'm saying if we're gonna get through that double top and we're gonna squeeze, I need to see real strong volume once we get back up here to retest highs. And you can see the volume just never came. Okay, so once we got back up here to test $4, I took some profit off right here at $3.99. Back to my trade announcements, you see took some profit at $3.99, still holding some. And then later on at 10:55 in the morning, I sold out of the rest of that position at $3.68. Okay, so right here when we dropped down back below that previous high, I exited the rest of that position. So nothing really, you know, trade really didn't work itself out. We never got the volume that I was looking for, but that first take profit kind of helped me out from taking a loss on that trade. And I had the tier 1 loss on APDN, but then covering the bulk of my position on SMAR today really helped me out big time. Okay, short from 43.94, covering at 39.35. Okay, so almost a $5 per share profit on SMAR. All right, and that's it. That's the video. That was my Friday. So kind of an uneventful Friday for me. I missed GBR. GBR was just a monster in the morning, and I missed this move. I mean, you see we got no follow through whatsoever, but this was a pretty strong move in the morning, and I missed that move. I was waiting for a pullback, and you can see we just really never got it. You know, we just really never got a pullback. It just kind of squeezed, and then it just fell apart. So I missed that GBR in the morning. Didn't trade it. I didn't try to trade it. I was waiting for a pull in. I never got it. And that's really it. All right. So that's it, guys. I wanted to give you the update on that SMAR swing trade for those that are following. So far, so good, and just took the bulk of the position off for a really nice gain. So hope you guys have a really nice weekend. And I'll see everybody in chat on Monday. Take care.